Hello, my lovely Aquarius people. My name is Patricia. For those of you who don't know who I am yet, originally from Brazil. That's why the name of my channel is O Despertar da Lilith, which really means the awakening of Lilith. Okay. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I would love if you did like this video, you left your like button, press the like button, the share, the comments, and let me know what you think, okay? Because I just started doing videos in English as well. But this video will also be available in Portuguese afterwards, okay? So I want to start explaining how I'm going to do this reading for the month of November. For those of you who have the sun, moon, and rising in the sign of Aquarius, I already have here two cards that I shuffled and took. I haven't turned them yet to see what they are, but one is from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle, and the other one is from the angels and archangels. Okay, these two are oracles. I will read them last. I want to start by saying that this is what you need to focus on doing in November. Okay, being honest. And then the message is, don't be afraid of who you are. Practice being honest whilst humbly considering opinions that might differ. Being honest doesn't mean you're right. It means you're open and true to yourself. Honor that other people's truth may be different. Be honest even when it's difficult. It's an incredible tool for building self worth and value to others. So, we all know, right? Aquarius people tend to be very honest. Sometimes they are too honest to the point of cutting people, being rude, and pushing people away. They literally are the rebels, right? And some Aquarius people, they really like to just stir things up, for the sake of it, because they're bored. And so they will push people's buttons. So, but because you guys have you belong to the element of air, right? So you have incredible mental power. But I am telling you, you need to be honest with yourself and with others, because maybe the type of honesty that you have is a little one-sided, because you guys do belong to the fixed category. So therefore you are very stubborn people, and you tend to be a little close-minded. Even though Aquarius is a very futuristic kind of sign, it doesn't mean that you cannot be close-minded. The only problem is that you are very passionate and even a little mean when you think that you are right and others are wrong. So then you act a little too cruel or too cold towards some people. I would be very surprised if none of these cards show the Five of Swords, which usually comes up a lot for Aquarius people, because the Five of Swords usually represents you always being the one in the right position, right? Saying things that are true, but also pushing people away because you're so rude or you're too honest, and you're saying it in such a way that is not considering people's feelings. So maybe you just need to learn how to be honest without being too stubborn or too cruel. Okay, we'll see what the tarot cards can say about each side of your life. So this will be for the love and emotional life. I'll take three cards for family, and then three cards for money and finances in general. Okay, so let's start with the relationships, emotional life first. Okay, what in store for the month of November for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising? By the way, this video will be saved in my Aquarius playlist afterwards. I have two playlists for Aquarius, one in Portuguese and another one in English. So just so you know, okay, you can find everything in my playlists. One more time, what are in stores for Aquarius people, Sun, Moon, and Rising, in love, relationships in general. Ooh, that's wonderful, people. Two of Cups upright, Chariot upside down, and the Four of Swords upside down. So let me do this so you guys can see. This is one of the best cards when it comes to love and relationships. Okay, it is the card considered the card for soulmates sometimes, okay? And of course, your soulmate could be somebody from your family, not in a romantic way, of course, but some people whom you have a very big you're in sync with that person, right? So I feel like in the month of November you can actually find love, okay? So far, all the readings that I've been doing for the month of November for all signs have been very heavy, but at least you're finding, uh, um, luck in love, I would say. And of course, it could also mean even a relationship with your mother could be improved. The reason why I'm saying that, because we have Venus, right, the planet of love, and Cancer, which is usually associated with your mother or your family life, like your home. So this is a beautiful, beautiful card. It's actually one of my very favorite cards in the tarot. So I feel like, emotionally, you will find somebody whom you have a really big connection with. Of course, this is a general reading, and we're talking about the whole universe, whomever is watching this video, and it's not going to be for everyone, but I can bet any money that most of you will find somebody where you feel like a strong connection with in the month of November. And for some of you, like I said, is literally reconnecting or connecting with the mother or somebody who represents a mother figure for you. Okay. So this is an amazing card. This other card here, the Chariot, which is also another card associated with Cancer, is a card of a little difficulty. Why? Because it came upside down. So the Chariot is a card that shows you going through a lot of strong let's say you are in the middle of the ocean and there's this super huge waves, right? So you're like in the middle of a thunderstorm in the middle of the ocean. The water represents your emotions, and we know we are going to be very intense when it comes to our emotions and thoughts as well in the month of November, because it is the month of Scorpio, plus Mercury, the planet of intellect, is in Scorpio as well, going to be retrograde, causing us to think deeply about everything, thinking about getting rid of some things, even if it's about our own behavior that is stopping us from being more successful or happier in our relationships. So it will be a very strong, like very emotional month. But you got to be careful, because everybody will be thinking a little like a Scorpio person. And one of the bad traits of Scorpio when it comes to their thoughts and feelings is, if you mess with them, they will want to get back at you, like they will be revengeful. And so you could be feeling that way, and the people whom you deal with could be feeling that way as well. So we got to be really careful, because there will be a tendency to misunderstand each other, to cause problems by the way we speak, especially, right? Because Mercury also rules communications, and when it's retrograde, it causes problem with communications, even with trips as well. So for some of you, this card could literally means problems with a trip. Okay, when you're traveling somewhere, you could have a car accident, or your car could have some defect, or even the bus or the airplane that you're traveling by, you could be actually traveling far away, because we are seeing the ocean here, right? So you have you could be traveling above the ocean, so it could be by airplane as well. And unfortunately, when this card comes in this bad position, I would say it tells you to be very cautious, especially if you are really angry and you're driving, or you're doing something very impulsively, because Scorpio is so intense, it could also act impulsive. You could have problems, okay, with your trip. So if you're traveling, leave the house at least with 3 to 4 hours in advance, in case there might be some unexpected changes or accidents, so you will be prepared. And if your intuition tells you not to take an airplane, not to take a car or whatever, please do listen, because it could avoid a very serious accident. Okay, because the Chariot also talks about movement, right? So because Mercury will be retrograde for the most part of the month, until from 31st of October until the 20th of this November, that means most of November we'll be having problems with technology in general, communication, transportation. And so some people could even be prevented from walking. okay, if they have an accident. So that's why I feel compelled to tell you this. And one of the proof is like, we have the Four of Swords here, and the Four of Swords is a card of having to rest because you're so exhausted or because you're sick. Like you could be in bed in the hospital, you know what I mean? Or somebody really close to you. It could be a partner, right? Because we're talking about the emotional life here, and it could be associated with your love life. It could be associated with family and friends, somebody whom you are connected emotionally with. Okay. So just take care, okay? Be restful before you go and drive for a long period of time, so you don't have to fall asleep on the wheel and have an accident. And please do take care of your health, especially your mental health, because you already tend to be very stressed out, really fast. You're very one of those very mental people who just think too much sometimes and become paranoid or stressed out, and they lose their temper really fast. And that's why you speak so fast without thinking too much. It's like you think really fast and you speak really fast. And whenever you decide to speak, sometimes you can cut people, like with the swords, and it's very deep, right? So that's why Aquarius is one of those signs that either you love them or you hate them, because they are so freaking honest. And some of them can be dishonest as well, but they use their intelligence to make fun of people in a sarcastic way, where they're making fun of people's not such a strong ability of being smart and understanding that they are being made fun of. I know some Aquarius there that I feel like they're jerks, and I can see through them. Because I also have Aquarius in me. My rising sign is in Aquarius, and my Mercury is also in the house of Aquarius. So I can think like an Aquarius person. So that's why I get them. And I do see a lot of them, they do it on purpose to hurt people, but they don't want to be found out. And so just be careful with that, because this month is going to be a heavy month. The same way that you spill out your poison, okay, you can also get hurt by it, just like a Scorpio, right? A Scorpio animal, it will attack its prey with its poison, but sometimes when it's feeling like it has nowhere else to go, when it's feeling cornered, it does what? It kills itself, right? It pinches itself with its own poison. So just be careful, because whatever you do this month and the things that you say to people could come after you too. And it could hurt your relationships as well, even though you have a really strong possibility here of connecting with somebody deeply. But you could make it, all go to the hell if you don't, if you continue to being a little too rough or cold. I don't know, how you can be sometimes, right, Aquarius? So just be careful with those things. And my most biggest concern here is being careful with also the Chariot upside down. It can cause you or the people in love with you or involved with you to feel a little domineering, okay? Like they want to dominate you, dominate the conversation. And then there could cause a little aggression as well. And you could have a lack of focus, because Mercury will be retrograde, so it will cause a lot of confusion mentally as well. We will not understand what's going on. So you can start maybe a relationship full of love, super connected with somebody, and suddenly it's not going well anymore, and that could be for a bunch of different reasons here. We do have a possibility of expanding into a serious relationship, because we have the Jupiter in Libra with the Four of Swords. But since it is a card of swords, we always have to be careful, especially with what we say. Okay. So yes, chances that things will go your way could be there, but you also could lose a lot of opportunity in love and in relationships with people in general, because of your way of expressing yourself that could be a little too harsh sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to leave that at it, because we need to move on to family. What's in store for family life for Aquarius people with Sun, Moon, and Rising? I feel like some of you will actually connect with somebody from past lives even. I got goosebumps right now, because I do feel like some of you will meet somebody from, like a real soulmate. And I don't see like a long-term thing yet, because I haven't taken a lot of cards and I don't intend to. But just so you know, you could be meeting a soulmate this month. Okay. And this soulmate is going to come to teach you something about yourself to you. They may or may not stay in a relationship with you, but they are definitely somebody who has an important mission, to touch you emotionally, okay, and to wake up certain feelings in you, and thoughts about how you have been acting that has been pushing people away. So just be aware. Ah, 10 of Swords, Jesus. Two of Pentacles and the Sun. Okay, it's not so bad. Okay, some of you may have experienced or will experience a big feeling of defeat or betrayal within the family life. Okay, and but the good thing is the number 10 is the last number, right? So whatever this betrayal or this feeling of defeat that somebody within your family has made you feel, it will be over. Okay, it will be over, because there is no other number after 10. And so even in the card, it says the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. For some of you, could be an addiction, right? So it is a good card to have when it's talking about the end of something bad, right? And we have to remember, in the month of November, with all these scorpionic energies, we do have to get rid of a lot of things and people in our lives in order to improve our lives for better, right? To make it so that we have space for new and better things. So sometimes we have to get rid of habits, people, things, okay, just so that we can create space for the new. So with the Two of Earth or Two of Pentacles, okay, upside down, this card usually talks about a choice, right? Because it's the number 2. So when you have the number 2, and in the finances, it could talk about a little disorder, like, your energy, is very unstable when it comes to your family life sometimes, because maybe this betrayal, or somebody will say something that will make you feel defeated, or you will say something to put an end into a difficult situation. Because to me, swords also represent harsh words is spoken to each other. And so when you have 10 swords, it's like literally a big wound, right? Deep, cutting from the roots. So whatever it is, it could be you causing this deep pain on somebody to put an end on something, or they doing the same to you. So with the Two of Swords, excuse me, Two of Pentacles, it just means that you will have too much going on in the family life, and causing a little instability. Because when we talk about the earth element, we're talking about whatever it is that is stable, right? That gives us a sense of security and safety, and that we can count on. But it came in the upside down position. So therefore, you will feel a little confused, like things are not stable in your family life, maybe because of this strong 10 of swords here. And you will feel a little confused, and your energy might be a little all over the place. And the confusion and the problems could be related to money as well. Okay, you could be stressed out because of a financial situation that you are struggling with, and then of course it can cause problems within the family, right? Even if you're not married and you're living with your parents, if you're not making money, your parents probably are bringing a lot of harsh words to you, calling you lazy or whatever, and that can cause a lot of discussions and arguments and stuff like that. And the same thing goes for when you are married to somebody and somebody is not bringing in the cash, right, the money. So it will cause a lot of tension, and friction and fights within the relationship, the family itself. But what I want you to concentrate on is that things will get better, okay, in the family. Maybe because the 10 of Swords came here, putting an end to it, because the Sun is one of the best cards to have, and it came in the upright position. And even this card is saying happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, Have confidence in yourself. And the sun brings light where there is darkness, right? It is also related to the sign of Leo. Okay, it is the ruler of Leo in astrology. So it can talk about having fun. It can talk about procreation, children, games, the matters of the heart. Okay, because the chakra that represents Leo is the chakra of the heart. And so maybe you could be doing some chakra work on your heart chakra, and that will improve your family life as well. um, I think above all, you have to concentrate on the fact that the sun will shine again in your family life if things have been a little tough. Okay, there will be fun, there will be happiness, there will be vitality and clarity on the things that are, confused so far. There will be, even success in whatever you're planning to do within the family. So just be hopeful, okay, because things will improve. And remember, the card for the sun is also 19. It's 19, right? So 1 plus 9 becomes 10 in numerology. And you got 10 of swords and the 10 over here. So it's like something will end so that something new starts, and whatever starts new will be better. So be hopeful, okay? Things will improve, and you guys will have more happiness in the family life as well. Let's find out now about, work, finances in general. Okay, what's in store for work and finances? I see things getting better at the end of the month. Okay, because Mercury will be retrograding in Scorpio until the 20th of November. So that's when, people start communicating better. Your mind is, you're seeing things more clearly, and you're not having a lot of confusion and doubts. So just be patient. Okay, you will need to be very, very patient this month in every aspect of life. This is a great month to study about psychology and about why you do things the way you do things. Oh, Aquarius, why are you vibrating the energy of lack, not abundance? Why? Jesus, you got to change these, people. Look at this. You got the 5 of coins, and it's a bad card for money because it talks about you concentrating on what you don't have instead of what you already have, and also attracting abundance into your life. So you might be feeling like, you don't have any help from family and friends when it comes to money, and you are struggling. You are feeling a little sorry even about yourself, your condition financially. And that's not good. I'm telling you, this could become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you gotta be careful with your thoughts when it comes to money, because you are attracting lack, the lack of abundance, the lack of money, the lack of luck in business and finances. And you need to be a little more disciplined here. Maybe you are being a little too inflexible as well in the way of thinking, because you got the Hierophant. Some people refer to this card as the Pope. It is connected to the sign of Taurus, another fixed sign, very stubborn, very not willing to change. And this card is associated with government organizations as well. It could be even the law. It could also talk about you going back to school or having to go back to school, like to college, because it talks about higher education. So perhaps a way to get out of this funk, financially, is you investing in yourself, because the sign of Taurus is also associated with money, because it belongs to the second house in astrology, and the second house is a house of money. Okay, and of course, Taurus is a sign that is ruled by Venus, the planet of money, good luck, love, art, beauty, all that stuff. So you could invest in yourself to improve yourself to attract more money, but you really, really need to think about the way that you are thinking, because in my opinion the way you are thinking is causing a lot of hardship financially. Maybe deep inside of you, you are afraid of success. Maybe deep inside of you, you are a bit lazy. Maybe deep inside of you, you have been afraid of of changing because you're stuck in this feeling of victim. Because sometimes we do get stuck in feeling depressed, in feeling like we are a victim of circumstances and people. And I'm not judging you guys. I love Aquarius people, okay? I just am telling you this because I feel like you need to hear it. And it's almost like you have been your worst enemy when it comes to money and finances, in general, because this is a 5 card and this is a 5 card. So fives are not good cards, okay, in the tarot. And then we got the 10 of Wands here, which is a card of having to carry a heavy burden when it comes to money and finances. So it's like you're tired of being suffering financial trouble, right? You're really exhausted. You feel like you can't deal with it anymore. But this card asks for you to reevaluate everything when it comes to money and finances, okay? Also, it's telling you to let go. Just like I told you, you have to let go of this feeling of victim, like nobody helps you. You have to help yourself by looking for, answers or higher education to improve yourself, improve your chances of making more money, okay? Literally, I feel like you're stuck because of your own thoughts. Your thought pattern is not helping you here. And you need to be a little more flexible. You have been doing things in a way that is a little too inflexible and too much by the book. You're not thinking outside of the box. And it could be because your ruler, Uranus, right, is in the sign of Taurus as well. So it makes the Aquarian energy, which is a little more forward thinking, be a little stuck, like the energy of Taurus, which is earth, like a rock, doesn't move. But the reason why Uranus is in Taurus is so that it can create a little more instability to those who are ruled by the Taurus energy, who doesn't move, it doesn't change, and so they can be a little more flexible and more open-minded, by pushing them, forcing them to crack open, but also bringing a little more stability to Aquarian energy, which is all over the place. It can be very destructive sometimes and too fast, changing all the time, creating no stability. So you need to find a balance here, okay? So don't be too rigid. Don't be, thinking that you are a victim of anybody, because you are not. You just need to start thinking that you deserve better so that you can actually start deserving better. And then you need to improve also your skills. You need to go back to school to take a course on something that will open up doors for you, okay? But unfortunately, you might still have to do it by the book, follow the rules. However, it is the time for you to change, okay? Because this card is asking you to change, put down this burden, this feeling of victim, and ask for help if you need to. Don't be proud to not, because some people, they complain that nobody helps them, but they also don't ask for help. And Aquarius people are like that because they're so independent. They hate depending on people, right? So because they feel like if they ask for help, they might now be indebted with the person that they ask help from. So you need to get rid of that thought, okay? Be flexible. Be flexible, ask for help when you need it. If people say no, it's okay. Swallow up the pride and move on. Ask for somebody else. The right person will come your way, but you need to do the most work here, right? You need to do it, in a way that you will feel proud of yourself, of all the efforts you put into it at the end, because it is important to you that you have acquired things on your own, right? That's why you don't like asking for help, because you want to be proud of yourself. So don't count too much on other people, because the 5 of Swords is somebody who has been counting on other people, and other people didn't come to their help, right? But also because they're always thinking, I don't deserve it. I might not deserve it because I never get help, and it's time for you to stop thinking that way. You really, really need to stop that way. Another thing that I have to warn you is that you may have been a little irresponsible when it comes to money and finances. You could probably be lazy a little bit, or making bad choices when it comes to money. This is the time to stop it. Okay, you have to make a conscious decision to stop suffering with money problems in the month of November. This is the month where you take a deep reflection on your behavior, on the things that you feel that make you cause something to happen in your life, like for example feeling like you're a victim, like nobody's helping you, like maybe you don't deserve success, whatever it is, right? Only maybe some of you are not even aware because you never stopped to think deeply about it. So with Mercury in Scorpio, especially retrograde, it's the perfect time to do some psychological work and emotional as well, because we are talking about Scorpio here. Scorpio rules psychology, right? The way you think, your traumas, all the feelings that you had experienced in your life since childhood until adulthood, and that caused you to be the human being that you are today, your behavior, right? Sometimes we really are our worst enemies. So maybe you have been a little irresponsible with your money, or with your financial life, but this is the time to change it, organize it. Pluto and Saturn, in Capricorn, demands that you be a little more practical, and that you get rid of the things that are not helping you in long term. So that also goes for the finances, right? You have to sit down and just see where you need to cut down costs and where you can invest. Okay, whatever it is, my suggestion is do not sign any contract, do not make any big decisions until November 21st onwards. Okay, because until then Mercury will be retrograde, and it will make you feel a little confused. You might change your mind if you decide to go, let's say, back to school, to a university, right? And then later on, you decide you don't want to do that course anymore. And so you wasted money now. So just use that first 20 days of the month to reflect, to plan ahead, and then put into action, especially in the beginning of December, because that's when we move on to not only an energy of fire, which is good to create things, to begin things, and it is in a very optimistic sign of Sagittarius, but also Jupiter will be in Capricorn. And so Jupiter will bring help, okay, expansion, good luck in terms of career. Okay, so it has to do with money because Capricorn also is the earth sign. So just be a little patient, reflect a lot on the things that you need to do, what you plan to do, and take responsibility for whatever has been going on, because once we take responsibility, we are more prepared and we know what not to do next. Okay, let's end this reading now with the oracles. So this is great. This card actually came out, I think, for I don't know if it was Capricorn or Scorpio. I think it was for Capricorn. Yeah. So you got the sea turtle, and it means protection. Okay. As we know, the turtles, they can live over 100 years. They are, immersed in water, right? In a deep depth of the ocean, which also has to do with spirituality and your psyche and your emotions, because water is related to that. So, what it says here is, you are master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm, and your path will unfold. Persevere, and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. So when I see this card, I get the impression that you guys are protected spiritually, and you also have your own inner power that you need to count on to use whenever you need. And I feel like, maybe you haven't been in total harmony with your spirituality or with your emotions. And that's why maybe your energy is a little scattered, and, you don't know where to go. But this is the time to take a deep reflection moment so that you can plan, put on a piece of paper, be, practical like a Capricorn person, and organized. And then, when it comes to the right time of the month, you put into action. Okay, and you'll be fine. But trust your intuition, trust your feelings, and be a little more flexible, please, because you haven't been. Okay, and over here After you do that work, you can spread your wings, because Archangel Ariel is saying, do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you're ready to soar. So this is your time, Aquarius. This is your time to free yourself of all the burdens, like this card is asking you to, right? When this card is upright, it means you're carrying a burden all by yourself because you don't ask for help. You want to be too independent, and maybe because in your mind you are too inflexible. Sometimes you are rigid in your thinking, because you do belong to a fixed category, right? Just like Taurus and Leo and Scorpio. So, you might be careful with that this month and just free yourself. You will feel so much lighter when you put this burden down and you let go of all this pattern that you have been carrying within your environment and your behavior. And you will feel like, a more honest person, even to yourself. Because now you're not pretending that you are all strong and powerful. You are finally showing to the world, yes, I am smart, I am strong, I am independent, but even people like me need help from, time to time. Even people like me suffer emotionally sometimes. So, this is the time to get some help. Okay. Some of you should consider even asking, looking for help with a psychologist. Okay. So just think about it. Just think about it. Find your path. You know how to find your path, right? You are a master of finding life's flow and being harmony with the rhythm, and your path will unfold. You will find your path. You can do it. Okay, my loves? This is it. I already talked a lot. If you do understand Portuguese or you know somebody who speaks the language, please watch and share the next video, because I'm going to do the same reading, but now in Portuguese. Okay? I wish that God bless you, protect you, and help you get rid of all the things you need to get rid of in yourself and in your life. And, may your path open up and the sun shine again. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Ciao.